Hello everybody and welcome to today's video session with Melissa Jones. Melissa was a colleague of mine at INSEAD. I was Director of Admissions and Melissa was a senior member of the MBA team, and we now work together at Fortuna. Now Melissa, there's a lot of commonalities in what INSEAD is looking for compared to the other top MBA programs such as Harvard, Stanford, Wharton, Columbia, MIT and so on. So all of these schools are looking for outstanding academic credentials, leadership potential, a really strong professional track record. And they're also all looking for well-rounded candidates, and they'll be looking at the candidates' extracurriculars and, engagement outside of work and study to get a sense for, how they'll engage with the school community. So what is different about what INSEAD is looking for versus these other top schools?
That's a really good question. I know it's really hard for a lot of candidates to distinguish the differences between all the business schools, but for INSEAD, it is a little bit more unique. It's the international aspect, which you're probably aware of, but one of their main criteria is international motivation, unlike any other school. So, why this international aspect? It is said to be the business school for the world. And, the school is really geared towards those that have kind of been exposed to or worked in a global environment, or just hope to pursue a global career. So, there's 94 different nationalities in the classroom at INSEAD, unlike any other school. The professors also come from all over. So, the program is really catered to this. It has like an international focus to the education. So when you are at INSEAD, you are matched with a group of 5 to 6 people almost the entire time while you're at school. And this group is very diverse. You probably won't have the same nationality in your group. So, they want to make sure that you're going to be able to adapt in that kind of environment. It's really, really quite challenging often to be in a group and work so intensely with people from different backgrounds, with different languages and nationalities. You have to be extremely flexible and open to other views. So that being said, they're really looking for people that have already been in these kinds of environments before. So they're looking for people that have worked abroad, or they've studied abroad on exchanges, or maybe they've worked for a multinational organization, or maybe just have a lot of international clients who you talk to on the phone, or you manage virtual teams all over the place. Or maybe you've just had a lot of travel experience too, maybe some volunteer experience abroad as well. So if you don't have any of that kind of international experience too, you can also really just, focus on that you really do want to pursue a global career when you're talking about your short and long-term goals.
Okay. And what tips do you share with clients on, how to best convey their international experience in their application?
Sure. Yeah. So often I find that candidates often overlook this. So, people may have some international experience through work, but they may not mention it in some of their essays. So there are a bunch of career essays for INSEAD. So, throughout those career essays, when you're talking about your current role, or there's a question about, tell us about all of the career experiences that you've had, you're going to want to just throw in at every point, whenever you've had some international experience. So whether it be, working with clients from a particular country, or a lot of the travel that you've done through work. Or maybe different languages that you speak on the job. And then there's the motivational essays, where one of the question is a candid description essay. So here you could talk about times maybe when you've lived abroad, and tell the committee, about certain stories that you experienced while working with others or diverse teams, more on a personal note. And then there's other questions about your achievements, talking about achievement or failure. So once again, you could use an example that has a little bit of an international focus to it. So I think you're seeing kind of a trend here that throughout all of the essays, at any point that you can, just kind of throw in a little bit about any international experience or exposure that you've had.
Yeah, absolutely. That's great advice. I mean, as you know, a few years ago, INSEAD would have a question in there that was specifically about international experience, and that question is no longer in the application. So, you know, it's important to sort of weave in that international experience through other elements, even if they're not specifically asking about it. It's something that, as you say, you know, you need to keep in mind as you answer each question. And what about at the interview stage?
Yeah, at the interview stage, so you know you can't assume that your interviewers have read your profile. They're very busy people, and yes, they were either given your CV or the first few pages of your application, but don't assume that they've read it. So once again, when you know they're asking you to walk you through your career, you're also going to want to, you know, once again, as Caroline said, you know, weave it in as much as possible whenever you've worked abroad or dealt with international clients. And then same with, you know, if you're touching on hobbies or extracurriculars, mention those volunteer treks that you might have done abroad, or, you know, mention the fact that that you speak 5 languages, or anything that you feel that is internationally related.
Yeah, absolutely. Great advice. Thank you so much, Melissa, for sharing your thoughts on the international dimension of INSEAD's evaluation process. And thank you very much to our audience for joining us today. And if you'd like to discuss your application to INSEAD or any other school, then please contact us via our website or ping us an email at info@fortunaadmissions.com. Thank you very much.